Hello and welcome to my little world. So this week I continued to work on my theater and I got more done on the exterior. So this is part 2 and there will be a part 3. There might even be a part 4. So I'm excited to show you what I did this week, and let's take a look after I give a shout out to Yumika and Torchan and welcome everyone who's here today. Thank you for coming. So this is what I've ended up with for my roof. I got a 20 by 30 inch foam board, piece of foam board. They didn't have any white, so I got black. And I've been trying to figure out how to make the roof with it. And I've come up with this design, which is going to fold up like this. And then I'm going to cut the sides to fit and then add pieces to fill in on the bottom. So I'm working on the roof because I was hoping to end up with some leftover pieces from the foam board to use on the window shapes down below. It doesn't look like I'm going to have much, but I might have a little bit, and I have some other scrap pieces I'm using as well. I glued this lid on to the front of the roof. It's the lid that goes to this tin, which I'm planning on using for my water fountain. So here's how I cut the sides to fit the kind of triangular shape, and then it folds up like this. And I have this angel that I got the other day at Goodwill that I want to put on the top of the roof. So I got a couple of containers so that I can prop them up under the roof and then set her on top of it so that she is supported, because the foam board is quite thin and wouldn't hold her weight. So here's the idea with the roof propped up and her on top of it and the containers underneath. And I put some dried beans inside the top container to weight it down. And then I need to make some extensions for the side pieces on the roof, and I think I'm just going to do that with cardboard because I don't have any more foam board. So I taped the inside seams of the roof, and then I will fill in the seams up at the top with some tacky glue right now. And this part I just scored the lines so that I could bend that top part and then cut the other lines. I laid the roof at an angle so that this glue can dry flat and won't be dripping down. So I'll just have to take my time gluing it and laying it so that the glue doesn't drip, and then I'll move on to the next section. When I was in the garage looking for some cardboard to finish off the roof, I found this foam inside one of the boxes. It has this interesting texture on it. And so I think I'm going to use this because I think it will blend better than the cardboard would, because the corrugation might have shown through, which might have been okay, I was thinking, but I think this will be even better. So I cut the foam board to fit, and the angles that I cut from the tops will fit on the bottoms. I cut it in the wrong place at first. I don't know why there was a perfectly straight line in the wrong place, but I cut it there and then I had to cut off more. So now I'm going to have to glue that back to this piece, because I decided to use this piece on the other side. It may not go quite to the bottom, but it's not going to be seen anyway. So I decided to use this one because the other piece that I was going to use was like twice as thick and wouldn't fit as easily with the foam board. So that's what I'm going to do with this piece. I'm so excited. I just looked outside and saw that it's snowing. Yay! I love snow. So here are all the pieces cut out. I used various things because I didn't have enough of just one thing. So I used egg cartons and the black foam board and the black foam board without the paper on it and some scraps of white foam board that I had left over, more egg cartons. So this is how it's all going to be put together. And this is the foam board, which is kind of thick, which I think looks fine at the base, but I felt like for the top of the window shape it needed to be a little thinner, so I took the paper off of it, and I was also then able to just cut it with scissors, which was easier than using the knife. And so that's how the window shapes are going to look, and I'm going to start gluing them on the sides of the building. So here they are glued on. I drew a line. I don't know if you can see it there. It's pretty hard to see. But I drew a line at the top. There you can see the line. So that I started with the top pieces and then just worked my way down to the bottom pieces and then added these middle sections that I think have a nice texture to them. So here's the front. And I was thinking about whether to put anything inside these, whether to do, like I have that thin 1/8 inch tape that I could put inside to do divisions on them, kind of like the windows in other parts of the village. But then I got the bright idea that these look like they could be frames for playbills or things advertising things that have happened and are happening and will happen at the theater. So I went on to Temu and I found some really pretty postcard kind of pictures. So I'm not sure when those will come, but I'm going to put those into these frames, and I think that's going to look very cool. I had the idea of maybe putting lace inside them or some sort of design as well. And I could do that with these upper arches. I haven't decided yet whether I'm going to leave these the way they are or add something to them, some sort of embellishment. But that will probably come to me as I look at the building once I get it painted. So that's the next step, is to do some more painting. So I also glued on these egg carton pieces up at the top, and I think they look really pretty. I ended up doing the theater so different than I thought I was going to. I thought I was going to do it a lot like I did the castle, where I was going to use the odd-shaped stones with spackle and have that as the exterior, and then I was going to paint it the sandstone color. But I just ended up going in a completely different direction. Using the egg cartons in a completely different way. But I do like it very much. It just surprised me because the idea that I had in my head for the theater ended up happening on the castle. And then when I came to work on the theater, it ended up being something very different. Here it is, mostly painted. I painted this bottom roof part. I painted the upper roof. I painted the columns up on the top. These things, don't know what they're called. And the frames down on the bottom. And I'm pleased with how all of it's looking. And when you're up close, you can really see the detail of all the different textures. I'm just loving all the different textures that I've used on it. But from a distance, it's definitely going to need some washing. I need to use like a dark wash that will bring out the details so that you can see them better in the distance. I probably still need to go over some areas of the paint. Some of these are just one coat of paint. I'm not sure how I'm going to put the columns up on the top. The roof kind of looks like it needs something. It's got the angel up there. So, but it's kind of just teetering on the top of the building, so I need to come up with some way to incorporate it better into the whole building. I haven't done this little section on it yet. So there's still lots more to do, but as I sit with this building, I will decide what else it needs. And then also I will be working on the lower part of the building and making that for next week. So thank you so much for coming to visit me this week. And this project will continue next week, and I'll see you then. Bye-bye.